Hey gang, it's Ted Gravlin with the TEDcast of the day. I'm doing a little bit different today. I'm actually sitting at my desk instead of in front of my whiteboard because I wanted to do some stuff and show you some cool spreadsheets, and I can't share the screen on a whiteboard. I'm going to share them from my computer today. So if you haven't subscribed to the TEDcast before, then go ahead and click the link below if you're on YouTube, or if you're not on YouTube, if you're watching this on another channel again, go on YouTube, search for me, Ted Gravlin, find my channel and subscribe below. You'll see all the cool TEDcasts we've done. Well, at least you'll see a lot of them. I'm still moving some, finding some, moving them over. Today's topic, we're going to talk about pricing. And the reason why we're going to do that is I'm going to have a workshop. I'm going to do it this Saturday. And I'm going to show you some cool things that we do. And we talk about pricing just to give you an idea here. So, um, pricing is the number one first thing that you've got to get right, or you can't afford to do anything else to grow your business. And it's the place we always start with a client is saying, hey, look, you are pretty good at air conditioning, you're pretty good at what you do, and there's only really a couple of reasons why you probably don't have a good price book with published prices ready to go. And I don't care if your price book is on paper, or I don't care if it's in electronic form, if you're using some software, House Call Pro or Service Titan or something. You still need to have a way to publish prices so that when someone, a homeowner or whoever, asks you how much is a system, you have a way to say, here's how much it is. You need to have all your margins and everything figured out in those things. If you don't, then you're just guessing. And that's a big red flag about heading towards bankruptcy, is you got to stop guessing. So there's really only two reasons people get stuck with this. The number one is they want to change their pricing. They know they should, but you got no idea how to figure out the overhead, the margins, and the commissions, and the labor, and all that stuff. So they don't really do it. They just kind of sit there and do some weird calculation. And I've heard people do dumb things like, I take my equipment cost and I add some markup to it, I double it, and then add a labor rate or something. None of that. Let's do it for real, okay? And that's one reason why they don't have a published book. The other reason is they know they want to raise the prices. They've heard generic advice like, hey, raise your prices. Problem is they get stuck on it because they're like, hey, look, what if I make it too high? What if people look at the price, they don't think you're the real deal anymore? What happens if you charge more and someone's going to say that you're ripoff and you're unethical for some reason? What happens if everybody in your area, you think they're just looking for lowballers and that? So ultimately, those are problems we're going to, I promise you I can help you if that's what's going on for you. So, you don't really need the broad advice, and you don't need like just raise your prices. You also don't need something that's so damn complicated that you can't implement it, because I've seen some things where people wrote like a whole thick book on it, and you're like, oh my god, my labor cost per man hour per day, and like, oh, you know what, let's just cut to the chase and do a real thing. Let me show you how we do this in my company, and I've got some spreadsheets here to show you how we do it. So I'm going to share a screen here and share. So this is a sheet that what happens on this is we stick a budget number in here, and we put in all your costs, that your fixed costs. So if you don't know what those are, we've talked about those before. Those are the costs you have to pay for anyway. So in this case, we have a company here is about $18,000 of, monthly fixed costs to be able to pay their overhead. And when I say overhead, I have a very specific definition of that. And my definition of overhead is that it's the money that you have to pay out even if you don't sell anything. So phone bills, truck payments, labor for the office rent, that stuff. Okay. Fuel bills, that stuff. Okay. So if you plug that number in here, we get $18,000. And we go over here to this page, it tells you if you're selling your equipment cost for $2,500, if it's costing you $2,500 to buy the equipment for an install, and you have a 2.5 times markup, how many of those units do you have to sell to break even? You got to sell 12 units to break even. If you're doing a 3 times markup, you only got to sell about 8 units. And if you're selling if you're doing 4 times markup, say $2,500, and you're selling it for like 10K, then you're only got to sell 4 to hit your 18,000 break even. Okay. Now you want to make a 20% net. You got to sell like 40 units at a lower price. You only got to sell 8 at a higher price. So this is where it tells you some of the things where your goals are. And I can change this number here, and I could make it say $2,000 for equipment. Let's say you're not selling expensive stuff. Now it just changes the numbers. Now I got to sell 15 of these instead of 12. I got to sell 5 instead of 4. So pricing makes a big difference in whether or not you're successful or not. So this is a spreadsheet that we use in my workshop. And then I have another one. I'll show you a different one here. We'll share a different screen. Where is it? Here it is. Share this one. And if we go to this page, this is where we do our costing and things. You can put all your costs in here. How much is it costing you for a line set in that, and how much labor, what's your journeyman costing you, how much is your helper costing you, and, what's your margin you want to get to, how much, price drop do you think you want to give a discount, that kind of stuff. You put all the numbers in here. How much is a piece of silver solder? How much is your, dryer you're using? And on the furnace side, how much you put in your thermostat, piece of sheet metal, whatever you're doing for this particular kind, and it'll tell you how much you need to charge in your book price to put the book price for those systems. On this page is where you stick in the price of the equipment. So, this is the furnace itself. This is the condensers, the coils, the furnaces. So the good news is once you've worked this page out and you have this spreadsheet, when you equipment price changes on you, like your supplier gives you a new price sheet, or maybe you just change to a new, hey, I used to sell a Ream, now I'm selling American Standard. They give you a new price sheet. Just plug these new numbers in over here on this page and go back over here, and it will tell you new prices for everything you have to do. So you can then go ahead and publish your prices based on the different sizes and stuff. So that's how we do it. I'm going to do a workshop. I'm doing it this Saturday. So November 7th, I'm going to do it at noon on Saturday Eastern time. It's actually free. I'm not charging for it. I'm trying an experiment. I've never done this before. I've never done a free workshop live with me on Zoom like we are now, where I have, people that you can ask questions. We'll walk through this. We'll pop these spreadsheets up on the page. You can, ask me questions. We'll play around with this. I'll show you how it's done. We'll dig in deep. And at the end of that workshop, if you do it right, you could potentially build out a price sheet for yourself for replacement pricing. Now, I'm not going into everything we do with a client because, obviously, there would be a lot more to it, doing service repairs and all that. We're just doing just the replacements. How do you set a replacement price book together? So I'm going to do, it'll take about an hour, hour and a half on Saturday. Again, this Saturday coming up. So today is Thursday. So 2 days from now, two days. Got it? All right. 2 days from now, we're going to do the workshop, and it's going to be, a free one. All you have to do, you'll have to be able to register for the Zoom meeting though, because Zoom now requires passcodes and stuff. So you'll have to click the link. I'll put the link here in the description below, right below, and I'll put it in the first comment here if I'm putting that on Facebook too. So I'll put the link that you need to go to, click the link, and go to put in your email address so that I can send you the email that you'll need to go into the workshop. That way you can log in. It'll be at noon Saturday Eastern time. So, where I live, it's 10 o'clock because I'm in Denver. But and we'll spend an hour and a half, work through all the numbers and that kind of thing. Just my thing for you. I wanted to try something cool for you guys. So you go ahead, click the link. And if you want to know the link, it's tedgravelin.com/pricing. So again, tedgravelin.com/pricing. Go to the link there, click register, put in your email address, first and your last name, because it needs to know that for Zoom. And then when you'll get an email then from me giving you the link for the Zoom meeting and the passcode and stuff so that you can do it. We'll see you Saturday, and hopefully this is helpful, and we'll talk soon, because I think I can explain these on these TEDcasts, it's fine, but I think it needs a little bit more explanation. So let's do it that way. Okay. Well, thanks guys. We'll see you later.